Hello, my lovely subscribers. I am very sorry, believe me, if I have been away for quite a long time. It's just that I've had writer's block, and I couldn't think up of anything or any what-ifs to do. And so far, I've been trying to pick out a what-if, what should I continue? And so far, not a lot has been coming to my head. But today, to make up for this mistake of mine, I bring you What If Deku Had Chakra? Or you know what? Instead of that title, he'll have chakra, yes, and all the powers. But the way I want to make it is this. What if Deku was the reincarnation of both Sasuke, Naruto, Sakura, and the rest of the other 5 Kage? Well, not the 5 Kage, no. The Hokages, yeah. The rest of the Hokages. So that's what I have here for you today. And also, Madara. A few additions here and there. So yeah. Madara, Itachi, and I think that's about it. Just the 3 Uchihas and the rest of the Hokages, and Sakura and Naruto, both Indra and Ashura, and that's about it. So yeah, let's get on with this what if, shall we? We open up with a boy being beaten up by a blonde-haired, red-eyed kid. Everybody knowing that this would be Bakugo Katsuki, as the little green-haired boy with freckles on his face. This would be Aizuku Midoriya. He was being beaten up because he was standing up for another kid who was being bullied by Kachan, as he puts it. Now, we skip a little bit after the beating. The boy feels his bones rattling a little bit, or how should I say it, vibrating after the beating. He feels weak. His muscles torn in some areas is what it feels like. So, when Inko Midoriya comes looking for Izuku after coming home from work, let's go to a little bit of a flashback before Deku got to the playground. Izuku dear, I'm going out to work. You can go to the playground where Katsuki is, okay? Okay, mommy. See you. Waving his little hand in the air. As Inko smiles warmly and says, see you, my little Izuku. Bye. As she closes the door. And also she left a little note on the fridge. Before Deku went, you could hear a little growl inside of his gut. As Deku, I'm hungry. Did mommy make me anything? Well, let's go. Saying to nobody in particular. As he comes to the kitchen, he sees that there's a note left on the lower part of the fridge, as this is meant for Izuku. As in the anime, Izuku is presented to be very smart for someone his age, and later on he's presented to be very smart and very adaptive to the environment around him. So, at his young age, he can understand writing very well. His handwriting, not the best, but it's getting better since he is a child. But anyways, as he reads the note, oh, before I forget, Izuku dear, I left you some leftovers from last night in the fridge, on the lower part of the fridge. warm it up inside the microwave for 2 minutes. And also, if he feels any more hungry, there's also milk and some cereal. She took out the cereal and the bowl, and he just has to get the milk. Which is very easy for Izuku because the milk is on the lower part of the fridge, so he doesn't have to get up on a chair or something dangerous. As this is not the first time that he's been left alone inside the house before, so he knows how to get around. As he sees the food, I'm not going to describe what it looks like, since I'm not really sure what he should eat. But anyways, as he says, "Yum, my favorite." As he grabs the plate, he puts it inside of the microwave, putting on the exact time it said, 2 minutes. He puts it in the fridge, sits on a chair, waits, and then it buzzes. Beep, beep, beep. You know, that little sound. When the microwave is done cooking up your food or whatever, it makes that little beep, beep, beep sound. So this would startle Izuku a little bit, but he would carry on. He'd get down from the chair, walk over to the microwave, and take out the food, piping hot just a little bit, but not too much. As he grabs a fork, or you know what, no, he grabs chopsticks. Yeah. As he begins to eat the food. A few minutes after, and then, he's filled up. So, after that, he goes outside the door, all filled up on food. So when he gets to the park, we come back to now. I'm not too sure why I decided to do that. Maybe it's because of my writer's block and I just wanted to explain stuff in detail. But if I can't remember, which I do have a very small memory, someone tell me in the comments, or don't. I'm probably just gonna say, hell, I don't need to hear it. But yeah, on with the thing, that little stupid thing out of the way. I'm not even sure why I did that if I'm not gonna remember what I said earlier. But enough about that. I bet you guys are probably going to say something in the comments. Oh, why did you say this if you said that about this? And why did you go all the way back explaining what he did? Well, I'm not even too sure myself some of the time. Some of the time I'm just winging it. I don't script this stuff. I'm just making it up as we go. So if I forget something, that's on me. That's my bad. But yeah, anyway. So, after he got up and feeling his bones, feeling his muscles, he would go back to the house. Or Inko would come back after a long day at work, a little exhausted, and seeing that Izuku is not home yet. As it's beginning, the sun is about to set, and she is starting to get worried. Izuku got lost, but something feels different about a route he's taking. He got a little lost after trying to find the house. And this, they're not inside of an apartment. Yeah, let's just say that Hasashi is like sending more money. Since he's overseas, which I presume he's making a lot of money. So he's sending in a little bit 2 times more than what he's sending. So they got a house, which is stable. It's not too big, not too small. It's accommodable for 3 people. So that would have been Hasashi, Inko, and Izuku. But yeah. Anyway, Izuku feels this strange mystical energy trying to pull him into a certain direction. It doesn't feel threatening. It feels welcoming. Like it's telling him to come this way. Come this way and follow it. It doesn't have any malicious intent or nothing. So he does. He follows the energy all the way out of town and into the forest. Now there is a very particular forest in this entire forest that is very eerie. There are rusted parts of metal, almost looking like 100 years or a few thousand years. But there are rusted pieces of metal in the ground. And a tattered word on the ground saying, little gaps in between letters. He can't fully make it out, but it says something like forest, D, E, D. You know what I'm saying. And if you do, props on you. Good. You're keeping up with Naruto. But yeah, anyway, as the trees here are much bigger and much more thicker than most. The trees almost block out the sunlight, not that the sunlight would even help. As when you're inside this forest, it's almost like it's nighttime. It's so dense and so thick, you can barely see anything. But there is a certain pathway that this energy is taking him. It's leading him towards a very particular spot in the forest. Soon after, it comes to an open field with bricks laying in a circle. On the ground it scratches out 41. I'm not too sure if that's the same number as in Naruto, the same ground, or what that field is called, 41. I'm not trying to give it away, but if most of you understand it, you understand it. But if some haven't watched Naruto, who are you, and get off this channel. For those who haven't, I mean, like, why are you here? But who am I kidding? Most of you all probably saw it, and most of you probably forgot, and probably most of you just binge-watched it. But yeah, anyway, as a big number on the center of the circle says 44, or I think I said that, yeah, 44. As the energy brings him at a pathway, he comes over the 4 on the left. There's a little smudge mark on the 4. He goes to press it. And lo and behold, a secret passageway opens up. A secret passageway opens up underneath him. As a gigantic rush of energy, dust, and the smell of death at the same time rush out. The energy going inside of Izuku, merging with it. Merging with his body. Tapping into a certain power that hasn't been touched in thousands of millions of years. A very certain power that many have forgotten what to call it. But it is also something to do very spiritually. As Izuku would smell something so horrible, he would plug his nose. The energy would start to move to his nostrils, and when he opens them again, he can't smell it. So he is wondering what's happening. As he walks down into the corridor, there are doors upon doors upon doors inside this corridor. On the left side, it's covered in doors. On the right side, it's covered in doors. All of them labeled 41, 42. On the other side, it's labeled 50, So it goes from 51 or 50, 51, 52, and so on and so on until it gets to 59 and 49. Or you know what? No, I'm not going to have that many. It goes all the way up till, I want to say, 44 on both sides. 44. Or no, yeah, 44 on one side and 55 on the other. That's how far it goes. All the way from 50 all the way to 55, and on 40 all the way up to 44. So one right after the other. So yeah, as he sees these corridors labeled by number, as he's saying, what is this place? As the energy is starting to pull him, at this point, he's not even walking, he's being pulled. So he's starting to freak out. As he begins to freak out, bit by bit, this energy starts to get more familiar in a way that he cannot explain. This place looks decrepit and broken down and abandoned for millions of years. The door handles are rusted through, barely being able to stand on their own. But nevertheless, you can't see anything behind the cracks and holes inside the doors, oddly enough. As it brings him to a certain door that's labeled, it's scratched out. It starts with an H and it ends with a A. Or HO, and then it ends. He can't understand what these words were, so he goes inside. The energy stopped pulling him and let him walk inside. Soon enough, this would bring him into a room, and this room would be filled with a certain body. This body would have a worn down and torn orange jacket with black pants and black toeless shoes. This would be Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. The man's skeleton, the skeleton of Naruto Uzumaki, still sits in his chair, waiting for someone. As Azuku is about to puke for a second, but he doesn't. Feeling a familiar presence, he walks up to the skeleton of Naruto Uzumaki. He sees there are certain symbols and a very certain particular way that these symbols are arranged. So he touches the black liquid onto the bone. The stomach area ripped off, where the jacket is supposed to be. The stomach area where the jacket covers up the stomach is ripped and torn to shreds. On the rib cage and partial spinal column, you can see a ray of black liquid or black markings, almost like a seal. So he touches the seal, and this red fiery chakra would fire up, and it would singe its way inside of Izuku's hand, burning its way inside of his body and going onto his stomach. This would be the nine-pronged sealing array. A nine-pronged sealing array would appear on his stomach, the same way that Naruto had his 9 tails sealing on his stomach would appear. As a whole rushing amount of chakra would come, and it would converge all inside of Izuku, not overloading him too much to the point where it's going to kill him, but it all rushes inside of him all at once and it blocks itself off before it could get the chance to register what just happened, and before it could kill Izuku. Right now, only one voice is heard. This one would have more of a raspy feel to it, but it sounds like a 30-year-old man. This would be Naruto. Naruto would be whispering inside the boy's ear, "Train. Train inside Training Ground 44. Train to get stronger. Train. Get stronger. Become stronger." It would be whispering these words inside of Izuku's head. Izuku would not understand it, but he would listen. Strangely enough, he would listen to the voice inside of his head, not knowing who this is yet. Inside of inside of Izuku's head, we would see Tsunade Senju, Kakashi Hatake, Minato Namikaze, and Saratobi, and Hiruzen Saratobi, Tobirama Senju and Hashirama Senju, Madara Uchiha, Sasuke Uchiha, and Itachi Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. Team 7, Kakashi Hatake, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno. Team 7. The Hokages. The first, Hashirama Senju, the god of shinobi of his time. His brother, Tobirama Senju, the proclaimed brother of god of shinobi, gained his name in his own right, got his own reputation up for his impressive water skills. Hiruzen Saratobi, the scientist, the professor of the shinobi arts. The way he got his name is by learning every single jutsu and understanding it and mastering the jutsu. Knowing everything about the jutsu and itself, how to improve it and make it better. That's how he got his name, Professor. Minato Namikaze, the yellow flash of Konoha, or the yellow flash of the leaf. The way he got his name was facing down Iowa, and also, I can't remember what the other villages were named. Iowa and Lightning Country or whatever. The Cloud Village. The Cloud Village in Iowa. He faced down 1,000 shinobi all at once and won. It almost like a full-on flash of light. 1 second you blinked, you'd be dead. And those who were lucky enough to live, which were only one, lived to tell the tale of Minato Namikaze. The fifth, Tsunade Senju, granddaughter of God of Shinobi. She is one of the legendary Sennin. She can summon the Slug Summon. And also she has very, very skilled arts in healing. I can't remember what the name of her jutsu was, but it allows her to do 100 healings on her body, basically becoming sort of immortal, just as so long as that you have chakra inside of your systems and your head isn't cut off, you'd be good. So yeah. Anyway, as that would happen, and all of this, you know? The sixth Hokage, Kakashi Hatake, also recently known for being the copy ninja. He copied well over 1,000 jutsu and mastered them all. He mastered them all to a perfection and made a few of them better. After the war, he lost his Sharingan due to his best friend, but also he recently gained the Sharingan for only a few minutes in the fight against Kaguya Otsutsuki. After a while, Kakashi Hatake had to reevaluate his skills and make sure that his skills were on point. But due to his Sharingan being gone now, he had to rebuild his skills up a little bit. But most of his skills and jutsu are still there. But he had to remaster them all again. And he did. Most of them were more harder and difficult to remaster, but some of them stayed mastered. He also learned the purple lightning technique, which also makes them more faster and a little bit easier to control. But yeah, the seventh Hokage, also known as Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the son of Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, and son to Kushina Uzumaki, also known as the Red Hot Habanero. The way she got her name was similar to Minato. She faced down also 1,000 shinobi and came out on top. Also known as the Red Death. But yeah, the way he gained his title of the next god of shinobi is he had so many skills and so many other strengths. Yin and Yang release, boil release, and steam release, and some other stuff. Yin and Yang release, and all that stuff. Sage mode, 6-pass Sage mode, and KCM1, KCM2, which is Sage mode, and also 6 of the Sage Paths mode. He can fly, move at a very incredible speeds, and also has an array of different chakras from each tailed beast. So yeah. Inside is... oh yeah, and also Madara Uchiha, the rival of the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju. Their battle caused the Valley of the End, where 2 statues were erectified as honor to both ninja. They both fought so hard that they created an entire lake and river. So yeah. Anyway, Madara Uchiha was known for controlling the tailed beast, also known as Kurama, the Nine-Tails demon fox. He was able to control the Nine-Tails due to his Mangekyo Sharingan. He had incredible strength. He mastered the Susanoo at a very young age of 26. At a very young age of 26. This is all not factual about Madara and his age and mastering the Susanoo. I don't know when he did, but just for the style points, I'm going to say he mastered at 26. But yeah. Able to go toe-to-toe with Hashirama on equal ground. But the battle came to a close and Madara lost. Itachi Uchiha, also known as the famed prodigy of the Uchiha clan. He was known for being an incredible prodigy, able to learn jutsu that was shown to him. As fast as you can do it and show it to him, he can master it within seconds, without even copying it using his Sharingan. He can just do it right on the spot as soon as you showed him at a very young age. He became Jonin at a very young age as well, 6 years old. I think that's actual facts, I think. But I don't care, so don't tell me in the comments. I'm pretty sure he became a Jonin. Or never mind, tell me in the comments if he did. If he didn't, well, I'ma just make it that way. and Sasuke Uchiha, also known to be the rival of the seventh Hokage. The same thing. They were both fighting valiant at the same spot their previous successors were, or predecessors. They both fought in the same area. But due to Sasuke admitting he lost, this win went to Naruto. So yeah, anyway. Hashirama. Huh. What? I thought I was in the land of the dead. What are we doing back here in the living realm? Tobirama. Dear brother, where are we? Wait, how are we? We are in the land of the living. Why are we? Oh, would you shut up? Says one voice. This voice being recognizable by both Tobirama and Hashirama, as this would be Madara, holding his head, having a migraine. You're really starting to give me a headache. You idiot. Well, it seems like even after death, you're still the way you are. But what do I expect from an Uchiha like you? What was that supposed to mean? You know what I meant, Madara. Hashirama. Okay, let's settle down here. Brother, settle down. We don't need to have a fight. After all, we are just in the land of the living. We need to figure out a way of how we are here and why. You know he's right. Sensei, you are right. We must figure out a way why and how we are here. Sarutobi, is that you? Yes, Sensei, it's me. Good seeing you. You've aged well. I get that a lot. Thanks. What are we all doing here? Okay, we're all here. All Kage. Yeah, including me, says Kakashi lazily. Yeah, and me as well, saying Minato. Yeah, and also don't forget about me as well, as Naruto comes up behind him. Sarutobi. You did it. I knew you could do it, Naruto. I never lost faith in you. Thank you very much. As Naruto, his eyes begin to tear up. I missed you, you know? Oh, Naruto, my boy, I know you have. I've been watching you, you know. On the other side, I watched you in your life. I must say, you have yourself quite the family. I do, don't I? Thank you very much, old man. Well, it seems like both of you are getting along well. As Sasuke comes up behind Naruto, alongside Itachi. Itachi and Sasuke had a little bit of a talk a little while ago. Sasuke, of course, hugging Itachi, missing him, wanting to meet him again and tell him he's sorry. Itachi, being the wise older brother, accepted his apology wholeheartedly without any hesitation, and he hugged him tighter than he would have, saying that they missed each other. Well, Now that the introductions are out of the way, let's figure out how and why we are here. As a portal opens up behind them, as this portal would show off a demon-like person.